Hello friends, this is your Yoganandam biology lecturer from Edall Academy YouTube channel. Let us discuss a biology full syllabus practice paper with solutions from the updated NEET syllabus.
Number 1. Which one of the following feature is common to cockroach, earthworm and mosquito? The chitinous exoskeleton, jointed appendages and two pairs of wings are characteristic feature of class Insecta of Arthropoda. Examples: cockroach and mosquito. Earthworm belongs to Annelida, in which first time true coelom appeared, called schizocoelom. This type of coelom is present in Arthropoda and mollusca also. So the answer for this question is option D. Presence of schizocoelom as a true coelom. Question number 2. A and B are examples of dash organs and represent dash evolution. Homologous organs share a common origin or ancestors but have different functions. Example 1. Pattern of bones of forelimbs in whales, bats, cheetah and humans, including all mammals. Example 2. Heart in vertebrates. Example 3. Brains in vertebrates. Example 4. Thorns of bougainvillea and tendril of cucurbita. So the correctly matching option is C. Homologous, divergent. A and B are examples of homologous organs and represent divergent evolution. So the correctly matching option is C. Question number 3. The crucial requirement for the process of chemiosmosis is: chemiosmosis requires a membrane, a proton pump, a proton gradient and ATPase. Energy is used to pump protons across the membrane to create a gradient or a high concentration of protons within the thylakoid lumen. However, the most essential requirement is the creation of a proton gradient across the membrane. So the answer for this question is option C, proton gradient. Question number 4. Read the following statement about animal tissues and choose the option which correctly states true or false. The intracellular material of cartilage is made up of chondrocytes that are pliable and resist compression. Tendons attach skeletal muscles to bones, whereas ligaments attach one bone to another bone. In all connective tissue except blood, the cells secrete fibers such as collagen or elastin proteins. So the answer for this question is option D. First statement 1 is true, statement 2 is false, statement 3 also false, statement 4 also false. From the given 4 statements, statement 1 alone true, the remaining 3 statements are wrongly given. Question number 5. Phosphorylation during photosynthesis is: in oxidative phosphorylation, the reduction of O2 to H2O with electrons donated by NADH2 and FADH2 takes place. This process occurs equally in light or dark conditions. In photophosphorylation, the oxidation of H2O to O2 with NADP plus as an electron accept is observed. This process is light dependent. So the answer for this question is option D. Oxidative phosphorylation occurs in light and dark conditions, and photophosphorylation occurs only in the presence of light. So the answer for this question is option D. Question number 6. The metamorphosis shown by cockroaches is: metamorphosis is of two types, complete and incomplete. Incomplete metamorphosis in insect is characterized by having an egg which goes through several nymphal stages to form an adult. In each nymphal stage, a small version of the adult gets slightly bigger with age. This type of metamorphosis is a characteristic feature found in cockroaches. So the answer for this question is option C, incomplete with egg, nymph and adult stages. Question number 7. When 12H plus pass through FO2 F1 particle, how many ATPs are produced? The energy released during electron system is utilized in synthesizing ATP with the help of ATP synthase enzyme. It is present in complex 5. This complex consists of two major components, F1 and F0. For each ATP produced, two protons pass through F0 from the intermembrane space to matrix down the electrochemical proton gradient. So the answer for this question is option A. When 12H plus pass through F0 to F1 particle, there are 6 ATP molecules are produced. Question number 8. Read the following matches carefully. From that, how many of the above matches are incorrect? Corpus callosum in forebrain connects both right and left cerebral hemispheres. The association areas are responsible for performing complex functions like intersensory associations, memory, and communication. Hunger, it is generally called as urge for eating and drinking. Regulation of sexual behavior and emotions are controlled by the hypothalamus and amygdala of the limbic system. The medulla oblongata regulates several functions of the autonomic nervous system such as respiration, cardiac function, vasodilation, and reflexes like vomiting, coughing, sneezing, and swallowing. So the answer for this question is option C. From the given 4 statements, only one statement is incorrect. Question number 9. Cytochrome is a. Cytochromes are ion containing heme prosthetic groups. They are most important electron carriers of the respiratory chain, which are related with each other by the presence of bound heme group whose ion atom changes from ferric state to ferrous state. When it accepts an electron, the heme group of cytochrome consists of porphyrin ring holding an ion atom. It's 4 nitrogen. So the answer for this question is option B, Fe porphyrin ring. Question number 11. The phenomena of differentiation is the living differentiated cells that have lost the capacity to divide can regain the capacity of the division under certain conditions. This phenomena is called as differentiation. It occurs during secondary growth when the permanent cell like parenchyma regains the power of divisions to form vascular cambium and core cambium. The differentiation is the event of losing the ability to divide by differentiated cells. So the answer for this question is option A, regaining the capacity to divide mitotically by differentiated cells. Question number 12. Match the following types of movements with their examples and select correct options. The peristaltic movement is a type of muscular movement. The amoeboid movement is phagocytic movement of macrophages and leukocytes by the formation of phagocytosis. Ciliary movement is present in our internal tubular organs which are lined by ciliated epithelium, such as the passage of ova in the oviduct. Flagellar movement is the movement of sperms with the help of the sperm tail. So the correctly matching option is option A. Question number 13. The hormone that can replace the process of vernalization is. Vernalization refers especially to the promotion of flowering by the period of low temperature. It prevents precocious reproductive development late in the growing season and enables the plant to have sufficient time to reach maturity. Gibberellins initiate growth in plants by stimulating cell elongation and thereby antagonistically it regulates the process of vernalization. So the answer for this question is option B, gibberellins. Question number 14. The number of bicephalic ribs in human are. All 12 pairs of ribs are attached dorsally to the vertebral column. Each rib has 2 articulation surfaces on its dorsal end and hence it is called bicephalic. Out of 12 pairs of ribs, only first 7 pairs are attached dorsally to the thoracic vertebrae and ventrally to the sternum. They are called true or vertebrosternal ribs. So the answer for this question is option B, 12 pairs. Question number 15. The chitinous exoskeleton or arthropods is formed by the polymerization of. Chitin is a homopolymer present in the exoskeleton of arthropods and cell wall of fungi. It is formed by the polymerization of amino sugar N-acetyl glucosamine. So the answer is option B, N-acetyl glucosamine. Question number 16. Which of the following combinations is correct? The protein part of enzyme is called apoenzyme. Prosthetic groups are organic compound and are distinguished from other cofactors in that they are tightly bound to the apoenzyme. Coenzymes are also organic compounds but their association with the apoenzyme only transient. So the answer for this question is option D. From the given 3 statements, so all the 3 statements are correct. Question number 17. Which of the following hormones stimulates RBC formation and is secreted by juxtaglomerular cells of the kidney in response to hypoxia? The interstitial pericytes present in the cortex of kidney produce erythropoietin. It is generally called as EPO in response to hypoxia. This stimulates the production of red blood cells in the bone marrow. So the answer for this question is option C, erythropoietin. Question number 18. The concept that explains how the large quantity substrate is acted upon the small concentration enzyme is. Emil Fischer in the year of 1894 proposed a lock and key theory to explain the mechanism of enzyme action. According to this theory, the active site of the enzyme have a specific geometric shape wherein the substrate molecule gets fitted to form an enzyme substrate complex. This is like the fitting of key to a particular lock. According to this theory, the enzyme combined with substrate gives enzyme substrate complex, gives enzyme plus product. This concept can explain how a large quantity of substrate is acted upon by a small concentration of enzyme. It is also explains why enzymes remain unaffected after the completion of a bioreaction. So the answer for this question is option D, lock and key theory. Question number 19. Match the following and mark the correct option. Deficiency of iodine in our diet result in hypothyroidism and enlargement of the thyroid gland. The condition is called goiter. Hypothyroidism during pregnancy in mother causes cretinism in children. Hyperthyroidism, the rate of synthesis and secretion of thyroid hormone increases, leading to higher hormone level than normal, which lead to exothalamic goiter or Graves' disease. Calcitonin decreases but parathormone increases blood calcium level. So the correctly matching option is option D. Question number 20. Bacchanae fungal disease is associated with the discovery of. Bacchanae or foolish seedling was first reported by farmers in rice plant. It was found to be caused due to fungi Gibberella fusicore. Kurosawa reported the appearance of symptoms of the disease in uninfected rice seedlings when they were treated with sterile filtrates of the fungus. So the answer for this question is option B, gibberellic acid. Question number 21. The set of hormones that are collectively known as gonadotropins are. Follicle stimulating hormones and luteinizing hormones are major, and prolactin is a weak gonadotropin secreted by pituitary gland in humans. These stimulate the gonads in males, the testes, and in females, the ovaries. They are not necessary for life but are essential for reproduction. So the correct option is A, oxytocin, follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. Question number 22. LSD is extracted from. Lysergic acid diethylamide is isolated from ergot caused by fungi Claviceps. Claviceps is an ascomyces fungi which cause ergot disease in plants. So the answer for this question is option B, Claviceps. Question number 23. Select the correct option for the given diagram. Citrus canker is a bacterial disease caused in citrus plants by Xanthomonas citri. In this, brown corky rings appear on leaves and fruits. So the answer for this question is option A, citrus canker, Xanthomonas citri. Question number 24. The incipient nucleus is present in. Cyanobacteria belong to Myxophyceae and are known as blue-green algae. They are photosynthetic organisms having chlorophyll similar to higher plants. Unlike other bacteria, they carry out oxygenic photosynthesis as they are capable of utilizing water as a source of hydrogen in photosynthesis. These cyanobacteria consist of an incipient nucleus, which is a nucleoid or primitive nuclei disposed in the cytoplasm. So the answer for this question is option A, Cyanophyceae. Question number 25. Which of the following blood plasma protein is correctly matches with its functions? There are three main types of plasma proteins. First one is albumin. It retains water level in plasma, therefore maintains osmolarity. Second one is globulin. It is the protein of plasma as antibodies or immunoglobulin molecules that provide AMI. Fibrinogen. This plasma protein is converted into fibrin threads by thrombin enzyme at the time of blood coagulation or clotting. So the answer for this question is option D. From the question number 26. The largest ovules, largest male and female gametes and largest plants are found among. Egg of Zygus, it belongs to gymnosperms and its nucleus are the largest in the plant kingdom. The sperms of Zygus are also known as largest in the plant kingdom. So the answer for this question is option C, gymnosperms. Question number 27. The volume of blood pumped out by each ventricle per cardiac cycle is called dash, which is about dash. Select the correct option X and Y. The volume of blood pumped from the heart, that is from left ventricle into the systemic aorta in 1 minute is called the cardiac output. It is also called minute volume. It is calculated as the product of stroke volume, that is amount of blood pumped by left ventricle each time it contracts, and rate of heartbeat. Cardiac output equal to stroke volume into rate of heartbeat equal to 70 ml into 75 times per minute, that is equal to 5250 ml per minute or 5.25 liters per minute. So the answer for this question is option A. X represent stroke volume, Y represent 70 ml blood. Question number 28. Orchigoniate plants include. The plants bearing orchigonia are called as orchigoniate, and the orchigonium is the female sex organ in mosses, liverworts, ferns and most conifers. So the answer for this question is option A, bryophytes, pteridophytes and gymnosperms. Question number 29. Flower is a perigynous and the ovary is said to be off inferior in. A off inferior ovary is also known as off superior, sub-inferior, inferior, sub-inferior or partially inferior is embedded or surrounded by the receptacle. Such flowers are termed perigynous or off epigynous. The flower is perigynous and the ovary is said to be off inferior in rose, peach and plum. So the answer for this question is option D, all of these. Question number 30. During the formation of leaves and elongation of the stem, some cells left behind from shoot apical meristem, they are known as. During the formation of leaves and elongation of stem, some cells left behind from shoot apical meristem constituting the axillary bud. Such buds are present in the axils of leaves and are capable of forming a branch or a flower. So the answer for this question is option C, axillary bud. Number 32. Which of the following statement is correct about regulation of kidney function? The functioning of kidneys is effectively monitored and regulated by hypothalamus, juxtaglomerular apparatus and to a certain extent the heart. An excessive loss of fluid from the body can active the osmoreceptors of the hypothalamus to release vasopressin or ADH from neurohypophysis. Angiotensin 2 is a powerful vasoconstrictor which increases the glomerular blood pressure as well as glomerular filtrate rate. So the answer for this question is option D. An increase in blood flow to the atria of the heart can cause the release of atrial natriuretic factor, it is generally called as ANF, to decrease blood pressure. Question number 33. The diagram given below represents the events of fertilization and embryonic development in. The winged pollen grains are characteristic feature of Pinus, a gymnosperm plant. The diagram represents the pollination by anemopily, sylvation, fertilization and formation of the embryo. So the answer for this question is option B, Pinus, a gymnosperm plant. Question number 34. The proteinaceous endosperm of maize is called. In maize endosperm, the outermost layer of endosperm cells becomes specialized and becomes rich in proteins. These enzymatic proteins cause breakdown of stored food in endosperm during germination and transfer to the embryo. So the answer for this question is option C, alluron layer. Question number 37. Identify the plant given below. Choose the incorrect statement with respect to the drug obtained from the given plant. Heroin, also called diacetylmorphine, is a highly addictive morphine derivative that makes up a large portion of the illicit traffic in narcotics. Heroin is made by treating morphine with acetic anhydride. The resulting substance is 4 to 8 times as potent as morphine. Morphine is generally used as pain-killing drug. It is an alkaloid found in opium, which is the dried milky exudate obtained from the unripe seed pods of a poppy plant. Heroin constricts the user's pupils, slows respiration, heartbeat and gastrointestinal activity and induces sleep. However, heroin's most valued effect is the ecstatic reaction that it gives after being intravenously injected. Within the seconds, a warm glowing sensation spreads over the body. This brief but intense rush is then followed by a deep, drowsy state of relaxation and contentment that is marked by the clouding of consciousness and by poor concentration and attention. So the answer for this question is option D. The drug stimulate the nerve system, so used in the treatment of patient to cope with mental illness. So that is the wrong statement from the given four statements about the plant. Question number 38. The maximum volume of air a person can breathe in after a forceful expiration is called. The maximum volume of air a person can breathe in after a forceful expiration, or the maximum volume of air a person can breathe out after a forceful inspiration is called vital capacity. Vital capacity is equal to ERV plus TV plus IRV or EC plus IRV or IC plus ERV. Inspiratory capacity of air that a person can inspire after a normal expiration. So the answer for this question is option A, vital capacity. Question number 39. Cis and trans phases are present in Golgi body is the only organelle which shows polarity. Cisternae are disc-like parallelly placed structurally which get curved. Curvature results in formation of concave and convex faces. Convex face is known as cis or forming face, which always lies towards the nucleus, and concave or trans or maturing face always lies towards cell membrane. So the answer for this question is option B, Golgi body. Question number 4. Following statements about respiratory system of humans. How many statements are correct from the above? The diffusion membrane for exchange of gases is made up of three major layers: the thin squamous epithelium of alveoli, the endothelium of alveoli, capillaries, and non-cellular basement membrane between them. So only two cellular layers. The answer for this question is option A. From the given four statements, there are two statements are correct. The division of centromere is absent in. During anaphase 1, chromosomal pair separates and chromosomes start moving towards opposite poles. This separation of chromosome pair is called disjunction, and it results in reduction in the number of chromosomes to a half. So the answer for this question is option B, anaphase 1. Question number 42. Which of the following types of natural selection results to form a higher and narrower peak after the selection process? When selection acts to eliminate both extremes from an array of phenotypes, it is called stabilizing selection. The frequency of the intermediate type, which is already the most common, is increased. The answer for this question is option A, stabilizing selection. Question number 43. Given below are four statements A to D, each with one blank. Select the option which correctly fills up the blank in any of the two statements. Synapsis is pairing of homologous chromosomes that occurs in zygote in phase of prophase 1 of meiosis. Golgi has two phases, one facing nucleus called as cis, concave or forming phase, and other facing the cell membrane called trans, convex or maturing phase. Proteins from the endoplasmic reticulum enters the cis phase of Golgi, moves past Golgi and exits from the trans phase of Golgi. So the answer for this question is option D. From statements, fourth and first alone filling with correct options. So the correctly matching option is D. Question number 44. Darwin's finches on Galapagos Island are examples of. Darwin's finches represent one of the best examples of adaptive radiation, in which the different varieties of finches were evolved from a common original species, seed eaters, on Galapagos Island in due course of time. This type of speciation comes under biogeographical evidence. Single adaptive radiation results in divergent evolution. So the answer for this question is option D, all of the above. Question number 45. Match the following. Lysosomes is generally called as phagocytosis, the process by which a cell, often a phagocyte or protist, engulf a solid particle to form an internal vesicle known as phagosome. Golgi apparatus is generally called as glycosidation, The formation of glycoside. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Synthesis of steroid hormone, example glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids, androgens, estrogen and progestogen. Rough endoplasmic reticulum, synthesis of secretory protein. A secretory protein is any protein, whether it be endocrine or exocrine, which is secreted by cell. Secretory proteins include many hormones, enzymes, toxins and antimicrobial peptides. So the answer for this question is question number 46. At the end of the G2 page, the number of chromosomes and the amount of DNA in a diploid cell respectively is. If a cell at G1 page has 2n chromosome and 2c DNA, then during S phase DNA replication occurs but the chromosome number remains unchanged. As a result, the chromosome number remains 2n but the quantity of DNA becomes 4c. So the answer for this question is option D, diploid number of chromosome and 4c. Question number 47. Select the incorrect statement about evolution. The Neanderthal man with a brain size of 1400 cc lived in East and Central Asia around 1 lakh to 40,000 years ago. They used hides to protect their body and buried their dead with flowers and tools. It is believed that they had some religion. So the answer for this question is option C. The Neanderthal man with a brain size of 1400 cc lived in East and Central Africa 75,000 to 10,000 years ago. So about evolution is the wrong statement. Question number 48. In the plant cell during cytokinesis, cell wall development starts from. In plant cell, cytokinesis occurs by cell plate formation, which is formed by fragments of endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body and remains of spindle fibers known as phragmoplast. A small plate develops in the center which grows towards periphery, thus touching the existing wall. So the answer for this question is option C. Center and move towards peripheral of the cell. Question number 49. Vascular bundles in dicot stem are. In dicot stem, vascular bundles are conjoint, collateral, in which xylem is present towards the inner side and phloem lies towards the center. Xylem is end arc, as the protoxylem is present towards center and the metaxylem towards the periphery. The answer for this question is option B. Open, collateral and end arc. Question number 50. In an old tree trunk of mango, which tissue will be present in the maximum amount? In an old trunk, increase in thickness occurs due to secondary growth. The secondary growth in the stellar region occurs due to the activity of vascular cambium, which forms more amount of secondary xylem, and this forms the heart of the trunk. So the answer for this question is option C, secondary xylem. Question number 51. Which of the following set of protochordates? Subphyla Urochordata and Cephalochordata are often referred to as protochordates and are exclusively marine. In Urochordata, the notochord is present only in the larval tail, while in Cephalochordata, it extends from head to tail region and is persistent throughout their life. Examples: Urochordata, Acidia, Salpa, Doliolum. Cephalochordata, examples: Branchiostomata, really called as Amphioxus or Lancelet. So the answer for this question is option D, Salpa, Doliolum, Branchiostomata. Question number 52. Which of the following is incorrect about the life cycle in volvox? Sporophytic generation is represented only by the one-celled zygote. There are no free-living sporophytes. Meiosis in zygote result in the formation of haploids. The haploids divide mitotically and form the gametophyte. The dominant photosynthetic phase in such plants, the free-living gametophyte. This kind of life cycle termed as haplontic. Many algae such as volvox, Spirogyra and some species of Chlamydomonas represent this pattern. So the answer for this question is option B. Meiosis in the zygote result in the formation of haploids. Question number 53. The most widely accepted method of contraception for females in India who want to delay pregnancy or space children is intrauterine device. It is generally called as IUDs, or the ideal contraceptive for females who want to delay pregnancy or space children. It is one of the most widely accepted method of contraception in India. So the answer for this question is option A, intrauterine devices. Question number 54. Floral futures are commonly used for identification of angiosperms because Floral features are more used for classification of angiosperms as they are more conservative. They are stable and not affected by changing environmental conditions. So the correct option is A. Reproductive parts are more conservative. Question number 55. Which of the following pair of reproductive techniques involves in vivo fertilization? Test tube baby program involves in vitro fertilization followed by zygote or embryo transfer inside the female body either through ZIFT or IUT, or ICSI is another specialized procedure to form an embryo in the lab or in vitro. So the answer for this question is option D, GIFT and IUI. Question number 56. Which of the following is not true for double fertilization? The endosperm is a tissue produced inside the seeds of most of the flowering plants following fertilization. It surrounds the embryo and provides nutrition in the form of starch. Through it can also contain oils and proteins. The answer is option C. The endosperm nucleus is diploid. That is not true for double fertilization. Question number 57. Select the incorrect statement about multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology. The in embryo transfer technology, instead of one egg, 6 to 8 eggs are produced per cycle. It is generally called as multiple ovulation. After artificial or natural insemination, all of these eggs are fertilized. These fertilized eggs at 8 to 32 cell stages are recovered non-surgically and transferred to surrogate mothers. So the answer for this question is option C. The fertilized egg at 8 to 32 cell stages are recovered surgically and transferred to surrogate mother. That is the incorrect statement about multiple ovulation technique. Pollen release and stigma receptivity are not synchronized. Stigma becomes receptive much before the release of pollen. This is known as different timing of maturation of stamen and carpels of bisexual flower is called dichogamy. If stamen matures first, it is called protandry. If carpel matures first, it is called protogyny. Homogamy is the same timing of maturation of the stamen and carpel. So the answer for this question is option B, protogyny. Question number 59. How many are an incorrect match in the following? Here there are 4 statements are given. Cleavage, rapid mitotic cell division of zygote in the fallopian tube. Spermiation, releasing of sperms from the head of Sertoli cells to lumen of seminiferous tubules. Implantation, the embedding of the blastocyst to the endometrium of the uterus which lead to pregnancy. So the answer for this question is option A. From the given 4 statements, there are 3 statements are incorrectly matched. Question number 60. Identify the correct sequence for different stages of embryo development in dicots. Most zygotes divide only after certain amount of endosperm is formed. During the development of embryo, zygote is divided to form 2 unequal cells which further divide to form proembryo, and subsequently globular heart-shaped and mature embryo formation takes place. So the answer for this question is option D. Globular embryo, heart-shaped embryo, mature embryo. Question number 61. Find the odd one out with respect to hormones secreted by placenta. HCG, HPL, estrogens and progesterone hormones are produced by placenta in women only during pregnancy. Oxytocin is released by the maternal pituitary gland, that is neurohypophysis, at the time of childbirth due to fetal ejection reflex. Relaxin is produced by ovary only during pregnancy. So the answer for this question is option C, oxytocin. How many of the following organisms has been sequenced during Human Genome Project? Many non-human model organisms such as bacteria, yeast, Canorrhobitis elegans, it is a free-living non-pathogenic nematode. Drosophila is commonly called as fruit fly. Plants such as rice, Arabidopsis have also been sequenced. Also the human genome has been completely sequenced. So the answer for this question is option B, 6. There are 6 of the following organisms has been sequenced during Human Genome Project. Question number 63. Which of the following will be level? In human females during oogenesis, the diploid structure with 46 chromosomes, that is 44 autosomes and 2 X chromosomes is oogonium, which divides mitotically and gives rise to the primary oocyte. Secondary oocyte, first and secondary polar body and ovum are produced as a result of meiotic division, and hence they are haploid in nature. In human males, during spermatogenesis, the diploid structure with 46 chromosome, that is 44 autosomes plus X and Y chromosome is spermatogonium, which grows in size and volume and produces to the primary spermatocytes, that is diploid. Secondary spermatocytes, spermatids and spermatozoa are produced as a result of meiotic division and spermiogenesis, hence they are haploid in nature. So the answer for this question is option D. First polar body, secondary oocyte and spermatozoa. Question number 64. Which of the following is incorrect in relation to an adapter molecule? tRNA has an anticodon loop which has anticodons complementary to the codons of mRNA. Due to very small size, tRNA is also called as soluble RNA. Amino acid binds to 3 end of the tRNA. The cloverleaf model shows the basic plan of tRNA. Secondary structure of three-dimensional structure shows an inverted L-shaped configuration. There are 3 loops in tRNA. First one is amino acyl synthetase binding loop or DHU loop. It is generally called as dihydroxyuridine loop. First loop from 5 end. Second one is ribosomal binding loop with 7 unpaired bases. It is first loop from 3 end, also called loop. Third one, anticodon loop with 7 unpaired bases. Out of the 7 bases in the anticodon loop, 3 bases act as anticodon for particular triplet codon present on mRNA. So the answer for this question is option D. It shows an inverted L-shaped 2D structure. Question number 65. Which of the following is not synthesized by RNA polymerase 3? In eukaryotes, 3 types of RNAs are synthesized by 3 different RNA polymerases. RNA polymerase 1 synthesizes ribosomal RNA. It is 28S, 18S and 5.8S. RNA polymerase 2 synthesizes the heterochromatin RNA precursor of mRNA. RNA polymerase 3 synthesizes transfer RNA, 5S ribosomal RNA and ASN RNA. So the answer for this question is option D. 5.8S ribosomal RNA. Question number 66. Which one of the following set of diseases belong to the same category of causative agent? Bacterial diseases, tetanus, typhoid, pneumonia, plague, etc. Viral diseases, mumps, polio, dengue, chikungunya, etc. Protozoan diseases, malaria, kala hazard, sleeping sickness, etc. So the answer for this question is option A. Tetanus, typhoid and pneumonia are the set of diseases belong to the same category. Question number 67. In an experiment, capital A, small a, capital B, small b obtained in the F1 generation was test crossed. In the progeny genotype, capital A, small b and small a, capital B, small b were more frequent than capital A, capital B, small b and small a, small b. Then the genotype of parent should be. Since capital A, small b and small a, capital B, small b are more frequent, it means in parental condition dominant and recessive alleles are present together. In parental condition, capital A, small b and small a, capital B are present, representing trans condition of linkage. So the answer for this question is option B. Capital A, small b and small a, capital B. Question number 68. All of the following cells are examples of cellular barriers except. Cellular barriers of innate immunity include cell-link neutrophils, monocytes, macrophages and natural killer cells. The specialized lymphocytes such as T cells and B cells come under specific or acquired immunity. So the answer for this question is option C, lymphocytes. Question number 69. Which of the following are vectors for cloning in eukaryotic organism? Vectors are carriers of DNA which are used to transfer gene of interest into the host cell. Vectors used at present are engineered in such a way that they help in easy linking. Question number 69. Which of the following is a vector for cloning in eukaryotic organism? Vectors are carriers of DNA which are used to transfer gene of interest into the host cell. Vectors used at present are engineered in such a way that they help in easy linking of foreign DNA and selection of recombinants and non-recombinants. Plasmids and bacteriophages have the ability to replicate within the bacterial cells independent of the control of chromosomal DNA. So the answer for this question is option D. All of these following are vectors for cloning in eukaryotic organisms. Question number 70. If recombinant DNA is introduced in a gene coding for ampicillin, then the recombinant plasmid will lose ampicillin resistant nature due to the insertion of foreign DNA, and this is known as insertional inactivation, but can still be selected out from non-recombinant by plating the transformants on ampicillin medium. So the answer for this question is option B. The host will lose resistance for ampicillin. Question number 71. Which of the following shows the correct sequence of processes with respect to the polymerase chain reaction? Polymerase chain reaction. In this reaction, multiple copies of gene of interest are synthesized in vitro using two sets of primers and enzyme DNA polymerase. The enzyme extends the primers using the nucleotides provided in the reaction and the genomic DNA as a template. It involves denaturation of the DNA attachment of primers called annealing and extension by enzyme DNA polymerase. So the answer for this question is option B, extension. Question number 73. Select the incorrect statement regarding microsporogenesis in an anther. Microsporogenesis is the process of the formation of microspore by involving meiosis. The microspore then forms pollen grains, which are male gametophytes. Pollen grains then undergo one mitotic division to form male gametes, and the process is known as microgametogenesis. So the answer for this question is option C. Each microsporogenesis involves one meiosis and three mitosis. So this is an incorrect statement regarding microsporogenesis. Question number 74. An allele is said to be when it expresses in the recessive alleles can express itself only in homozygous condition. When two recessive alleles are present in a dissimilar pair of factors, one member of the pair dominates and it is called dominant and the other is recessive. The answer for this question is option C. Homozygous conditions only. That is the statement. Phenylketonuria. Because this inborn error of metabolism is also inherited as the autosomal recessive trait. The affected individual lacks a liver enzyme called phenylalanine hydroxylase that converts the amino acid phenylalanine into tyrosine. The genes for the disease are located on chromosome number 12. Symptoms. Since the phenylalanine is not converted, phenylalanine is accumulated and converted into phenylpyruvic acid. It is a keto derivative and other derivatives. Accumulation of these in the brain results in mental retardation. These are also excreted through urine because of its poor absorption by the kidney. Treatment is diet rich in tyrosine and lacking phenylalanine. So the answer for this question is option B. From the given four statements, the option B is incorrect one. Persons affected by phenylketonuria do not show mental disorder. Question number 76. A man with genotype capital E, capital F, small f, capital G, small g, capital H can produce a capital P, it is number of genetically different sperms, and a woman with genotype capital L, capital M, small m, capital N, small n, capital O, small o can produce Q. The number of genetically different eggs determine the values of P and Q. A man with genotype capital E, capital F, small f, capital G, small g, capital H can produce 4 number of genetically different sperms as the identical is heterozygous for 2 gene locus. Woman with genotype capital L, capital M, small m, capital N, small n, capital O, small o can produce 8 number of genetically different eggs, as she is heterozygous for 3 gene locus. The number of gametes formed can be calculated by the formula 2 square n, where the n is equal to the number of heterozygous genes. So the answer for this question is option B. P is 4, Q is 8. Question number 77. Which of the following is incorrect in relation to sex determination in organisms? Grasshopper is an example of X0 type of sex determination in which males have only one X chromosome besides autosome. Thus, 50% of sperm carries X chromosome and 50% without the X chromosome. In birds, the female is heterogametic and produces two types of gametes. In humans, the Y chromosome is shorter than the X chromosome. The answer for this question is option D. In domesticated fowls, the sex of the progeny depends on the type of sperm rather than the egg. So that is the incorrect relation to sex determination in organisms. Question number 78. Which of the following is an incorrect statement? Red algae store food in the form of the Floridian starch. Red algae lack any specialized asexual spores, thus they usually reproduce by fragmentation. Brown algae store food in the form of mannitol and laminarian starch. So the answer for this question is option D. The food is stored as laminarian in red algae. So that is the incorrect statement. Question number 79. The species of organism which plays a vital role in controlling the relative abundance of other species in a community are called. The species that plays an important role in the functioning and stability of ecosystem by controlling the relative abundance of other species in a community is called keystone species. So the answer is option B, keystone species. Question number 80. Which of the following is expected to have the highest value in an ecosystem? Of biomass produced by plants per unit area per unit time. GPP is the rate of production of organic matter during photosynthesis. So the answer is option B, gross productivity. Cry2AB and Cry-IAB produce a toxin that controls. Specific Bt toxin genes were isolated from Bacillus thuringiensis and incorporated into several plants such as tobacco. The toxin is coded by a gene named CRY, that is Cry. There are a number of them from, for example, the proteins encoded by the genes Cry-AC and Cry2AB control the cotton bollworms, and that by Cry1AB control corn borer. So the answer for this question is option A, cotton bollworms and corn borer respectively. Question number 82. The two gases making contribution to the greenhouse gases are. The greenhouse is the naturally occurring phenomena that is responsible for heating up Earth's surface and atmosphere. Gases like carbon dioxide and methane are commonly called as greenhouse gases. The relative contribution of various greenhouse gases to total global warming is carbon dioxide is nearly 80%, methane 20%, chlorofluorocarbons 14%, nitrous oxide 6%. So the answer for this question is option A, carbon dioxide and methane. Question number 83. Identify A, B and pattern of invertebrate global biodiversity in figure given below. Insects followed by mollusks. There are approximately 1 million types of insects which account for nearly 70% of all invertebrates. Mollusca is also very diverse group reaching approximately 70,000 species. Crustaceans are crabs, prawns, etc. present in the sea, freshwater and on land accounting for nearly 50,000 species. So the answer for this question is option D. A represent in the given diagram, A represent mollusk, B represent other animals, C represent crustaceans. Question number 84. Find the incorrect statement from the following. When into small fragments due to various human activities, mammals and birds requiring large territories and certain animals with migratory habits are badly affected, leading to population decline. So the answer for this question is option C. From the given 4 statements, option D only incorrect. Question number 85. The sequence of communities of primary succession in water is. In the primary succession in water, the pioneer or small phytoplanktons, they are replaced with time by rooted submerged plants, then by floating hydrophytes, sedges, grasses, and finally trees. So the answer for this question is option D. On rooted submerged hydrophytes, floating hydrophytes, reed swamp, marsh, meadow, and trees. Question number 86. Find the incorrect statement. In nature, the detritus food chain is connected with food chains at some levels. Some of the organisms of detritus food chain are praised to the grazing food chain animals and in the natural ecosystem. Some animals like cockroaches, crows, etc. are omnivores. So the answer for this question is option C. Detritus food chain is not at all connected with grazing food chain at any level. So that is the incorrect statement. Question number 87. Match the items in column A and column B and choose the correct answer. Ladybird is used to get rid of aphids. Fungal genus Glomus forms mycorrhizal association. Trichoderma, a soil-borne fungus, and is used to control other fungal pathogens. Thus, it is used as biocontrol agent. So, the correctly matching option is B. Question number 88. Select the correct statement regarding Lactobacillus acidophilus with low GC content. They are acidic tolerant, non-sporulating, cocci or rod-shaped bacteria. It is the most important group of microorganisms that are used in food fermentation. Lactic acid bacteria help in the conversion of milk into curd by coagulation milk proteins. At a suitable temperature, the curd is added as a starter. It is generally called as inoculum in fresh milk, and then the bacteria start the conversion of milk into curd. Lactic acid bacteria help in lactose digestion and help in controlling disease causing microbes in the stomach. So the answer for this question is option B. From the given 4 statements, the correct statement regarding lactobacillus is statement B and C. Question number 90 is the last question. Find the incorrect match. Cocaine is a central nervous system stimulant drug obtained from Erythroxylum coca, a plant, and it is also known as coke or crack. Heroin is chemically diacetylmorphine and is an opioid. It is also known as smack or brown sugar. It is a central nervous system depressant that slows down body functions. So the answer for this question is option A. Coke, central nervous system depressant drug also known as smack. So that is the incorrect statement from the given 4 statement. Thank you very much for listening our videos. Those who are watching our videos, you are requested to like, subscribe and share to your friends. All the best.